Hey y'all. So today we're going to do our first video. We're going to do the science activity on page 23 called Feats of Strength. It is an engineering project that you create shapes and then you build a bridge, and you're going to see how much weight can be held on those bridges. You're going to find things around your house and you're going to see how much you can stack on top of it before it collapses. What I'm gonna weigh this candy bar. I'm gonna see if my little bridge can weigh this candy bar, this shoe, and this book. Okay. So I need you to go to page 23 in your instructions, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. What you're gonna need from your kit, you're gonna need some of this cardstock construction paper. On your instructions, it's going to be yellow, but the ones that we got in our kit are the white ones. You're free to color them, draw on them, whatever, after we do it, or even before. You can pause this and do that if you want your bridge to look colorful or whatever, but I'm not. You can. You're going to need your ruler, and you're going to need your tape. What you're going to need from around the house that doesn't come in your kit is a pencil or a pen, something to mark with your measure, and you're going to need some scissors. Now, I don't have scissors at home. I have them all at the school. So I'm going to do what Miss Walker taught me to do when I was in the 4th grade, and I know she taught y'all, is to cut it with your spit. So I'm going to do that. And that should be all that you need, okay? So the first step that it says to do is use a pencil and ruler to make 1-inch wide strips. Now remember, on your ruler there is an inch side and a centimeter side. We're going to do inches, so we're going to do the wider gaps, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ruler along the top of my page, and I'm going to make little marks. See, I've already done that so that you guys can see, but I'm also going to do it at the bottom so that when I line my ruler up, and I can line the top and the bottom to make the straight lines, okay? So I've already done the top, and now I'm going to flip my paper over and do the bottom. Remember, even at the top, it says inches. Make sure you're doing the inches. Otherwise, your strips will be too skinny and your bridge will collapse. Okay? So yours, once you get finished, should look like mine. I have marks on the top and marks on the bottom. Now, I'm going to line them up, my top mark and my bottom mark, like that. And then I'm just going to draw a straight line down the middle. Now make sure that you are using the wide sides and not the long sides. Now you could, if you wanted to see and just test it to see which one held bigger, you, instead of doing them long ways this way, you could do them like this to see if yours could, if that one, which one would hold more weight. That would be a cool test to do. But I'm just going to do it like this. Okay. So I have all of my marks just like that. Okay. Now, if you have scissors, I would use those. But if you don't have scissors, remember Miss Walker taught us when she was teaching us how to do those boxes, how to fold down on the line. Remember, you fold on the line like this, right? You fold it both sides, and then you lick the curve, and then it should, you got to lick both sides, and then it should easily tear apart if you pulled it like this. Now, if it's not as good, I have to set mine down because I don't want to break it. And I set my hand on top and just pull it apart like that. Now, if yours isn't pulling apart very good, then you might need to lick it a little bit more. Otherwise, it should come right off. Now, you're going to do that for all of these strips, okay? So I'm going to pause my video while I do the strips, and then when you get finished, you can click pause or click unpause, click play, okay? Okay, now you should have a bunch of little strips like this that are long. If you follow the instructions, now we've cut apart our strips, and the next thing it says is to cut each strip in half. So what we will need to do is we'll just need to take it and line up the ends and fold it at the bottom. You just fold it one time, and then you either have to cut it with your scissors or just lick it like we did the other ones. So I'm going to lick it and then pull it apart. These should be pretty easy. You want to make sure that you cut them all in half. So it's going to have two pieces. Okay, I'm going to pause it while you guys do that. Okay, now that I've cut all of my strips in half, I have a bunch of little tiny, well, they're not tiny, but they are small versions of the strips. Okay, so we have quite a few of those just so that our bridge can be sturdy. The next instruction says fold each strip into thirds. So if you have thirds, you're going to have three pieces or three folds. Okay, we're not going to have to cut any more. But what you want to do is you're going to try to make it into triangles, because triangles have three sides. So that means that they have, if we made it from a strip of paper, it would be into thirds. Now this might take a little bit of practice because you have to figure out what's the best folds to do. Now I just eyeballed this one, and I obviously didn't do a very good job because this side is longer, and that would make a wompy triangle. You want to make it as acute or like an equilateral triangle, because you want all the sides to be equal so that it's not wompy. One thing you can do if you want to be really particular about it is you can use your ruler and you can measure to see how much one strip is, like how many inches they are. And then you would divide that by 3. Now that would take a little bit of brain power, and you actually could do that. Now I measured mine, and it's 11 centimeters. So 11 divided by 3 is a little bit less than 4. So I could make my little marks on here if I wanted to. So I would do a little bit less than 4 just so that I can round and estimate how many. So I do a mark before the 4 and a mark before the 8. And then see how I did that? And then I would fold on the line to see if that would work. Now I even estimated, and it's still a little bit wompy, so you're just going to have to try your best. Okay, now once you get it folded into thirds, you're going to want to you're going to need to open it like this and get your tape, and you're going to tape this little vertex together. Okay, so if I were you and I were trying to make this go a little bit faster, I'd go ahead and get my tape, and I'd pull a big piece off and cut it already into tiny strips, and I would like stick it to the side of the table. But make sure that when you're done with this, you get up all of that tape off that table. Otherwise, it'll stick there and it'll be there forever, and your mom will be mad. So I'm going to go ahead and make little tiny strips. Now, you're not going to need a lot of tape. That's a little tiny bit of tape, because this is a little tiny triangle. So you're not going to need a whole lot of it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my little tapes, and I'm going to fold all of my strips. This might take a little bit of time, But as you get going, you'll get better at measuring it or even eyeballing it. And then it'll go faster. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and then I'm going to come back when I have all of my triangles taped and ready to build my, when I'm ready to build my, what is it called? Bridge. When I'm ready to build my bridge. All right, so now I have a bunch of these little triangles like this. So they're little and I tried to make them as equal as I could, but not all of them are perfect. So, okay, now let's get back to our instructions. We've already taped each side together to create triangles. Now, another way that you can make this bridge is by creating cylinders. Remember, cylinders are just circular shapes. So it says that you can create squares using these, or you could create cylinders, and then you can make different kinds of bridges and test which ones hold the most weight. The way that you would make a cylinder, I'm just going to show you real fast. If you are interested in doing that, you just take your strip and same thing, you don't fold it or anything, you just make it into a circle. And you could stack them up however big you want it to be to make a bridge, or you can do squares. Remember, squares have four sides, so you do four folds. Technically three folds. So you would make it look like this. Now this would be hard because you have to really pay attention to your folds to make it stand sturdy. So mine looks wompy, but yours might look better. And then you just tape it together to make it into a square. Your kit has a lot of paper in there, so even if you mess up or if you want to make different kinds, that would be okay too. See, it's kind of not very good. But I'm going to keep working with my triangles, and you are free to do any shape that you want to. Okay, so now position the triangles in a row. So I'm gonna show y'all my stuff here. So you're gonna position your triangles in a row like this. So I'm gonna do 5 of these triangles. Oh, gotta make sure that they are side by side like this. Okay. If you wanted to, you could tape them all along the bottom, but I'm going to see how this works. I might have to go back and tape it together. Now, then it says that you can add a strip of paper between each layer of the triangles. I have some of these left over, but I don't think that that's going to work on this one. Maybe once I flip them over. So you're going to flip them like this so that they're on top of each other. The point goes down, and then you kind of gotta make it flat so it looks like a bridge. Okay, this is where they said, that one's not gonna work. Okay, now you can put a strip of paper on it like this to hold your guys into shape, like in where it's supposed to be. And then you would make another layer. Now you can make these as tall as you want them to be. Okay, so this one, I need 3 more strips. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and make 3 more strips with my of triangles really quick. Now with these cylinders or the squares, you're going to have to try to test that out on your own if that's what you want to do. Actually, if you do attempt to do that, I am willing to give you, and if you take a picture of it, I'm willing to give you extra dojo points, 10 extra dojo points, so that we can see more like a science experiment, which structure holds the most weight. Okay? Okay. So now I'm ready for my next instructions. Okay? All right, so you have your layers of your bridge. And now, after creating 2 or 3 layers, I only did 2, place another plain strip on top, which I've already done. Okay? Then it says, test how strong the paper structure is by balancing different objects on top of the structure. Objects may include a book, a piece of silverware, a shoe, etc. So I'm going to set my ruler on top of here so that it can balance out the weight. Okay? And I'm going to first try my chocolate. And it looks like it holds my chocolate really easily. So that's kind of cool. All right, now I'm going to try this shoe. Okay, make sure that whenever you put it on there that you kind of balance it out. Wow, look how strong it is. Oh. Okay. All right, so it holds my shoe. Now let's see if it'll hold this book. And then if it does hold this book, I'm going to go get some more books and see how many books it'll hold. Uh-oh, this might do it in. Oh, man. So it won't hold this book. Now, if you it probably would have held the book if I take down my triangles. So one thing that you could do if it keeps, messing up, you could try to make, adapt it into ways that it'll be more sturdy. Okay. I think that is all that you have to do. I'm really excited to see all of your pictures. Make sure that you take pictures or videos or whatever. And remember, I will give you extra dojo points if you try to do it with different shapes. You can also make them taller. You can make them you can use different types of paper if that's what you have at home. You can compare construction paper to notebook paper. You can even make the strips. You know how we cut the strips in half? You could do the strips larger, like before you cut them in half, and see how that works. There's just a lot of different variables that you can use to make your bridge more sturdy. So make sure that you submit those pictures by Thursday, and I'll see you at the Zoom meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.